Peace, peace, my Virgos. What's good? It's your brother, man, saanuaqa. Alright, we are back with your cycle focus reading. Okay, for our Libra season, right? We're going into is it Tehuti or Tehuti? I think it might be Tehuti. October? Maybe Tehuti or Tehuti. I gotta find out. Alright? Nevertheless, we're gonna get y'all a cycle focus reading. Alright? We want to remember that when we're dealing with the Metu Neter, these ain't just some regular cards. These are not just regular tarot cards or just playing cards or reading cards, right? These cards are associated with the tree of life. Right? The tree of life is the cosmogram that, right, originally the Neter, right, it's the cosmogram that speaks to the whole. It gives us an understanding of the whole, right? Out there in the world, right? Or in the worlds, right? In the universe, right? Also in here, in the spirit, right? The various spheres of our spirit, right? Is, will represent a whole as codified in that tree, right? So, it's as above, so below, right? We're doing readings, we're not just doing readings, we are speaking to God, okay? So this is spiritual counsel. Anytime you pull a card with this Metu Neter, this is a spiritual counsel that you're doing. It's cluing you in on which aspects of this spirit you're dealing with, okay? Alright, that said, let us go ahead and get some counsel. Now remember, this is a general reading, so everything is not going to resonate so directly, right? You got to stick it where it fit, right? Make sure that you get a personal reading, so hone it in and make it personal for you, right? That being said, this is going to apply to most of the people who check me out on a regular. Oh, let me say, again, thank you for viewing, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your donations. Y'all are the lifeblood, and we are much appreciated, okay? Alright, make sure I got that out there. Okay, Virgo, let's do it. What we dealing with? Sebek. That's you. That's you. Sebek governs Virgo and Gemini. So, that's you. So far, so good. Yeah, Sebek. Oh, see? I'm messing up. We got so excited. What happens to my handwriting when I get excited? Damn, it gets beautiful. Alright, so yeah, man. Sebek. Sebek is in the house. Yeah, so hey, there you are, folks. I'm about to close this up and go home. We out, you know what I mean? Sebek, this is your energy. So you're going to keep it intelligent, right? You're going to keep it, communicative. You're going to keep it focused and witty. You're going to keep it proper, right? You're going to be, Sebek is the communication specialist, the information specialist, right? Sebek, right, is the bookworm, okay? September just passed. October, right? Time for school, right? Some of y'all are bookworms. Y'all checking me out. You know what I mean? Make sure you doing your Sebek mantras. Best way to make it through college is with Omen. That's the Sebek mantra. Sebek mantra is going to give you the focus for school. If you're somebody who, you don't have a real, gung-ho, hard focus for school, maybe it's not necessary to be gung-ho and hard, right? But you need intelligence. You need the capacity for studying, things like that, for sitting there, reading them books, figuring things, putting things together, right? You need to be using your brain. The Sebek mantra is going to help you tremendously. Let me let you know I have a Sebek I.O., right? I wasn't always the type to get in front of a camera and be talking to folk. That's Sebek, you know what I mean? Years and years of working with Sebek's mantra makes it a little bit more comfortable for me. So, Sebe is in the house. Alright, you're going to pay attention to information, right? You're going to make sure you know the information on the day. Somebody telling you about something, you're like, maybe I'll look that up. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to have the correct information, right? You're going to be studious, right? Get your study on. Don't be afraid to read a book. You know what I mean? I know it's not my fault. I know it ain't my fault. But I know, some people have a problem picking up a book, especially with the invention of videos. Get yourself a book. You know what I mean? Download some text. Read. You know what I'm saying? On whatever it is you're dealing with. Just set back on. Okay? Alright, that being said, let's go to the king. Open. Open stress. Close stress. Open. Open stress. Close stress. Close. 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 Close, close, close. Close, close, close. Open, close, open. 33 into the 6. Okay. 33 into the 6 hexagram. Okay, so the 33 at the third line, we have a situation where someone won't let go, right? Someone won't let go, right? Someone probably needs to let go, and just retreat, but they are not. They're holding on. They are latched on, and they're not letting go. That's the second line. Okay? At the third line, you are in immediate proximity to the enemy, right? As you retreat, you're at the back of the retreat. Hey, if I'm not mistaken, that could be the first line. Let me make sure this is right. We got to check our stuff. We got to be sebek, man. We got to get studious about this situation. Make sure we got this thing right. Okay. Retiring under, that was the first line. Alright, so I was talking about the first line. My bad. Alright. Retiring under constraint brings ills and dangers. Maintaining or supporting servants and concubines bring good fortune. It's just, say concubines. That's, just the old, antiquated, Asian kind of ideas about life, kind of chauvinistic on some levels, but we're going to take it with a grain and keep going. The symbolism stems from the hexagram as a whole retiring, right? From the bottom to the top. And this being the first line, this being the first yang line, supported and urged forward by 2 yin lines below, while having strong yang lines above it. Average individuals are indicated, but ones who have the weakness of hiding behind their mother's skirts or letting someone else protect them, being unable to stand up and defend themselves adequately on their own. However, helping those below them will prove especially beneficial and bring good fortune. He will be a clever man who retreats to avoid troubles and dangers. He will probably be helped frequently by female, perhaps a member of the family or by those dependent on him. He will not be very dependable when things get rough, but he will try to help others occasionally with moderate success. Right, this line is talking about, let's go further into this line. I just happen to have my trusty E-King transcripts, right? I'm straighten our eyes a little bit for the cause, for the culture. Okay, go in for the culture. Okay. Halted retreat. Right? 9 in the third line. Halted retreat is nerve-wracking and dangerous. To retain people as men and maid servants bring good fortune. And Shechem says, here's a line that when you look at many actual readings, it becomes very misleading because the line itself has to do with to retain people as men and maid servants has to do specifically with Chinese society itself. In our society, where people mean men servants and maid servants have an entirely different connotation that it does not have in Western society. So we have to see exactly how would that translate. Because if we maintain that metaphor or those correspondences, it will get us into a lot of difficulties and troubles by looking at it that way. In feudal China, as in certain African societies, etc., it was necessary it was necessary for some people to be maid servants to others. In feudal societies, in ancient societies, and in certain kinds of non-technological societies, people would pawn themselves to somebody. Meaning, if you owed somebody some money, you would go work for them, you pawn yourself to that person, or you would pawn your child to that person so that your child would go work for that person, etc. Let's say for 3 months until the debt was discharged. We read these in all. We read this for all different social, economical, philosophical situations. I want to really get into that. This is small writing, folks. My eyes, I gotta get some glasses. Glasses is where I'm getting there, folks. I'll be trying to escape it, but I can't escape it. It's coming. But I'm saying, meaning that if somebody right, he said that. Okay, when it is time to retreat, it is both unpleasant and dangerous to be held back, because when one no longer has the freedom of action, right? Where the oracle has said earlier in the judgment that one must retreat at the proper time, that is what has happened or is about to happen in the third line. That one has waited too long. One is held back from retreat, or one held oneself back from retreating. In such a case, the only expedient is to take into one's service, so to speak, those who refuse to let one go. So it's just tied in with that second line, right? The second line is somebody doesn't want to let us go, right? So this line is saying, right here we're saying, you have to take into one's service this person that doesn't want to let us go, right? Let us go. There are some situations from which you would like to retreat, or you ought to retreat, but the other party refuses to let you go. The oracle says here, then you need to resort to expedience. To go to the expedience will enable you to maintain your initiative, your freedom, so you don't fall under the domination of such people. Because already there is some kind of weakness that prevents you from withdrawing totally from the situation. Right? So you have a situation where, again, someone doesn't want to let us go, right? And then perhaps we have a weakness that we allow them, or we allow right, someone can, you could shy away from telling somebody, no, get out of here, right? And then, get dominated by that person, right? If you're too weak when you shouldn't be, right? Or when you should be stronger, then what happens is you get dominated, right? So we don't want that, right? The oracle is saying that the situation itself is not a good situation overall, because there is a kind of mutual dependency. There is a mutual relinquishment of freedom in the situation already, because you cannot lead and they cannot lead, because you cannot lead and they cannot lead because of the circumstances. As a matter of fact, this third line is the ingredient that defines a play as drama, where you have two parties in conflict with each other, and both of them have something at stake. Therefore, you can't just get up and walk away from each other, because you have something at stake that binds them to the situation. The text has glossed over the real problem. There is nothing in the text that gives you any solution to the situation. It simply says that you ought to resort to some expedients. If you are in a situation where there are problems with somebody, you can't walk away from that person, and there is danger that you may fall under the domination of such person. What is the expedient that you must resort to in order to maintain your freedom, and also, since you accept that it is not a good situation, for that situation not to deteriorate, and at the end to move into a more favorable situation, that expedience, of course, is rituals. Right? Right. Okay, so so he's saying that the expedient to resort to is rituals, right? When someone doesn't want to let you go, or you don't have the ability to just let somebody go, right? You have to take them into your service. You could fall under the domination of that person, through, just undermining, your authority or whatever it may be, right? So, this is saying that, in this circumstance, you have to, there's a ritual that you have to do to kind of deal with that circumstance, right? Because this goes into conflict, the 6 hexagram, right? 6 hexagram is conflict, right? Opposing parties, fighting, okay? So what is that ritual? That's ayim, or ma'im, right? You have to employ your sebek faculty in dealing with whatever it is that won't let you go, right? Someone won't let you go, right? You have to chant the sebek in order to avoid the conflict that's looking to happen over this situation, okay? Basically, yeah, that's it. You have to do your rituals, do your sebek rituals in order to, to not, have this situation neg you out, okay? Let's go to the tarot and see what the tarot are talking about. The Hermit. This is also you. The Fool in reverse. Okay? The Fool is in reverse. Okay, so, retreat is a hermit thing to do, right? Right? Anytime you gotta fall back, right? Close up shop, go in. That's the hermit, okay? And perhaps it may stall your forward movement on something, right? If you need to go within or to fall back, right? And that perhaps is where that Fool in reverse is, right? But, sebek is still on the table. As long as sebek is on the table, we can clean this up with all my in, right? Urge you to get into the description thingy there and look up the Tehuti network website in order to get your hands on some mantras. These mantras are the things that awaken your being, right? When you're wondering something, you go, right? That's a mantra. You just elicited a sound that invokes wisdom or insight, okay? So, you'll find that the Tehuti mantra is right? much like that. You know what I mean? So I just gave that as an example to let you know that mantras, various words of power affect our being, right? Various aspects of our being. So get you some mantra tips. Alright? Yeah. But ultimately you're going to apply sebek to the circumstance, right? You're going to apply the circumstance as sebek, right? As sebek, you'll be intelligent, right? And you'll gain the intelligence to deal with the circumstance, right? You know, that's the ritual that you need to deal with whatever is coming, right? Hermit is also meditation, right? So you want to go into hermit mode. You want to go into meditation mode and deal with whatever the circumstance is on the inner plane. Okay? Alright. That is the reading, folks. As y'all contemplate my lovely handwriting. Right? So again, Virgos, I want to say thank y'all for subscribing. Thank y'all for, liking the video, viewing and commenting. All these things help the algorithm out to get the video out to more people. So, much appreciated, right? All these new subscribers that have been coming my way, definitely much appreciate you guys. Alright, and yeah, keep it going. Get my views up so I don't have to take so many days off and, be stalled out and, stuff like that. You know what I mean? I can attend to this more so full time. Alright, y'all, that's gonna be it, and we're gonna get on y'all next cycle. Alright? Make sure y'all checking out the tarot readings, right? The lessons, right? The tarot lessons. Okay? Right? We're going we just try to show y'all the different languages of God. Right? The languages that God uses to speak to you. Alright, so stick with me. Alright, and we're going to keep it moving. Peace, y'all.